Forces for the PC. This is the first of the games to include the famous extended universe character Kyle Katarn. But unlike the other games, he's not actually a Jedi, he's still just a mercenary, so you won't be using any Force powers throughout this, but you will be moving through most of these levels pretty fast. Anyone who's played this game casually knows that the level design can be pretty ambiguous and really complex at times, but the run's just here to show you just how fast this game really can be. It's gone through a lot of optimization over a few years. It's probably one of the more optimized in the series, and it's a pretty fun run overall. The first two levels themselves are pretty straightforward. The third level is where things get a little more interesting. As you can see, I'm already done with this level, so I gotta do this manually. Alright, so now we're on level 2. Level 2 isn't that bad. There's one thing that could go wrong, which hopefully doesn't happen. So I'm not gonna do anything stupid. I'm just gonna play it pretty safe. If you miss a jump on this level and you fall in the water, you have to backtrack to get out of it, and that wastes about 30 seconds, and that's pretty punishing. The big thing about this game is that there's no quick saving like there are in other FPS games at this time, so you're basically forced to run the game single segment. So if you make a mistake, you have to eat every single second that you lose for it. So it's kind of fun, but also kind of stressful when you're going for good times. We're going to do a little shortcut, or a small little thing here where we crouch jump through the window. This is just going to allow us to run through this and jump to the other side instead of having to wait on the door. And we have one objective we have to get through this level. The way the game works is you have to complete all the objectives in the level rather than go to the end of the level and hit a switch like you would in a normal FPS in this era. So that's kind of interesting thing about it. Kind of makes it its own thing. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and get to the end. How much else is really happening? I'm having pretty... I should also mention this game is very minimal on RNG. It's a very execution-heavy FPS game. So there are a few instances of randomness, but usually it's not going to get in the way. There's only a couple instances where it can actually affect the run. Alright, so now we're on level 3. This is where the first major sequence break is about to happen. We have grenade-like weapons called thermal detonators. We're going to just refer to them as TDs, because it's just easier to do that. And so this level here, you're supposed to navigate through every single chamber and raise the water level. Kind of a puzzle of the level. But if we carefully place ourselves here and do a jump, we can skip the entire puzzle and the entire level. So that saves about a minute and a half of time. It's not really that hard to do, but it's also really important to get. You only have 2 tries to do it. So we're already at the end of the level, which is pretty nice. We're going to pick up these TDs because they're going to be really useful for the rest of the next level. Alright, so I'm so used to using this in the macro. Alright, so now we're on level 4. Level 4 is where you really start to see TDs come into action. There's a lot of shortcuts in this level, so you save a huge amount of time doing this the 90% route. So we're just going to run across here. That's really scary. One thing about this level is you're supposed to collect keys to find a code for a door to unlock, and the code, luckily enough, though, stays the same every time you play it, so... Oh, I'm not gonna try that more than once. There's a jump I can do there. It'll save me about 10 seconds, but if I don't get it the first time, it's gonna kind of set me back. I'm gonna be low on shields. But anyways, yeah, so we're not gonna be collecting the keys, which is gonna save a huge portion of this level. Cut out a massive amount of it. And so we're just gonna do this real quick. Alright, there we go. Yep, the door's unlocked. That's what we have to basically fetch keys for, is to unlock that door. So now we got a really big trick coming up here. Hopefully I get it. There we go. Alright, so that skips a huge switch puzzle that way. That's like about a minute and a half long, doing that explosive jump there. That's pretty cool. And the explosive jumps don't end here because normally the intended route is you're supposed to take the front entrance to get out of here. This air duct is like a secondary entrance you can use, but of course they didn't plan on you being able to do this, so it's much faster to take that route. Alrighty, so we're already at the end of the level. This level has a lot of T-jumps. There's a lot of opportunities to lose time on this level, so I'm really glad nothing bad happened. So now we're on Gromus. Gromus is a pretty boring level. We have to get to a certain point of this level at a certain time before we actually have to worry about losing time. So as long as nothing goes wrong, we should be okay. This is going to be a pretty boring level for the first half. You're just running to place. So while I'm doing that, I will just mention that I'm sure some people are probably thinking this at this point, but the answer is no, this game is not a Doom clone. It doesn't even run on the same engine. It actually runs on its own engine. I think it's called the Force engine. So there are actually a couple of differences mechanically in the engines that would separate the Doom engine from this one. So yeah, despite looks, it's not actually a Doom game. So we're going to try and go for a really tricky jump here. Hopefully I'll get it. Oh, got it first try. Wonderful. So that skips having to get a key, and that's pretty nice little time saver. There's actually a lot safer way to do it that's only a second slower. There's no need to do what I just did, but it's just what I'm used to doing at this point. So, but yeah, that jump isn't frame perfect, but it's pretty close to it. I should also mention that this game runs at 80 frames per second, so things are a little tighter on Windows. And now we're going to show another really, hopefully, useful trick you can do with TDs. So weapons will mostly have a primary and alternative fire mode. The alternative fire on the thermal detonator lobs it rather than exploding on contact, so you can lob TDs through movable walls and doors. So I was able to kill the boss that was behind that wall before he could even come out of there, so we were able to get through that section really quickly. And now this hallway, I kind of just gotta wait on doors. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to hit the switch, wait for the doors, and then run through this corridor while they close. I hit the switch past the trigger that closes the doors, so I instead just wait on them to open up. This is one of the more recent things they found in the game. It saves a good amount of time and it removes the guessing game from it. So that's pretty important. We're just gonna take another little shortcut right here. And there we go. That's the end of that level. Alright, now we're going on to Detention Center. This level is kind of stressful. I want to kind of focus for this one. We have to get through this really quickly in order to get the fastest cycle through the level, what we refer to as one-cycle Detention Center. I will explain what that is when I actually get there, but I really need to focus on my movement because I started out pretty slow. If I don't get it, it's not a big deal. It's about 12 seconds you lose if you don't get it. That's the thing with this game, is it's so short that these little things are really important to get. So we just gotta, unfortunately, ride this thing, which is incredibly slow. This also brings me to another point. I said there isn't a lot of RNG. One of the more annoying RNG aspects of this game is blaster accuracy. It's a stormtrooper weapon, so naturally you can't really hit anything when you point at it, so that's kind of annoying. But we're going to take this developer-intended secret route to get to where we need to be. How you're supposed to find this is incredibly ambiguous, so it's kind of nice if you know what it is. And we're likely going to make the one cycle, so hold on one second. Let me focus. Alright, we got it. So what happens there is you want to get through that section while the crusher there is still rising. Oh, shoot, I messed up the code. Hold on one second. Oh shoot, I really messed it up. Fuck. Hold on. I don't remember the code off the top of my head. That's not good. I may have to restart the level. What is it? It's this. Alright, there we go, I found it. Alright, so minor thing there. I relied too much on muscle memory, so I lost a lot of time, so pardon my language, that was just really, really dumb. So now we're on Ramsey's head. This is another really straightforward level. This level is the main thing you want to do here is restock on thermal detonators because they will be very useful throughout the rest of the game. Oh, this is another one of those really annoying instances of RNG. I can't really do anything about that. Those pigs are really big and getting through that hallway is really small, so it's kind of hard. So there's another, I need a lot more TDs. Actually no, one more should be fine. Okay, there we go. Take a little shortcut here. Oh, never mind. And so, in this level, I want my health to be somewhat low by a certain point, because we can do a death warp to save a few seconds. And the old way we would do it would just rely on enemy RNG to do it, but it's much more efficient to actually, you know, to initiate it yourself. So hopefully I have enough health to get through this without dying. I'd really appreciate that. These enemies just need to cooperate and I'll be fine. Oh, they're not cooperating. This is going to be fun. Alright, so I can't take too many more hits, so I kind of got to be a little careful here. Alright, there we go. I got the death warp. That's great. So that saves about just a handful of seconds, but I mean, you're going that way anyways, so you want to do it anyways just to save whatever time you can. Anyways, so we're already at the end of the level. This level's, again, it's pretty straightforward. There's not really anything other than that death warp trick, so... Anyways, here we go. Alright, so now we're on robotics. Robotics is actually a pretty cool level for speedrunning. I should mention, by the way, the game's running at a really high frame rate, so the ice physics in this game are pretty broken. So, luckily in this level you introduce an item that's used literally only in this level, which are ice cleats. However, it's really out of the way to actually get them, so there's only one section where ice physics can actually cause problems, so hopefully it doesn't. We kind of just have to rely on careful movement and such to make sure that doesn't happen. Alright, there we go. So we're just going to be riding this conveyor belt sequence to a certain point in the level. We need to make sure we pick up the sealed supercharge though, because it's going to be useful for a boss fight. With the gas mask, because there's poisonous gas throughout here. I don't think I mentioned, but there's two types of damage you can do in this game, which is ones that can be absorbed with shield damage and ones that can't, because you have shields and physical health. You die when your physical health goes to 0, but if your shields go to 0, you're still fine. So that's kind of interesting. But there are some things in this game that do a lot of physical damage without doing shields, so those are kind of annoying. You just need to plant these sequences next before we actually fight the boss of this level. And I'm planting them in a specific place because where this boss spawns depends on what the last sequencer is. And that just allows me to get this weapon supercharged really quickly. Oh, he's moving around a lot. That's really annoying. Alright, cool. He's dead. So that's the Dark Trooper, the main, like, super enemy of this game. And he died in, like, about 10 seconds. So this is the part of the ice physics that can be really annoying. And so far it's being really forgiving. That's great. And oh, by the way, there's the ice cleats I was talking about earlier. You get them at the end of the level where they're completely useless. But this level's fun because you skip a huge chunk of the first half of it just by being able to TD jump and skip the ice cleats. There's Kyle's ship coming into the distance. Alright, so now we're going into Ramsey's Head. This level is really complex and hard to navigate when you play it casually. So I don't want to, spend a lot of time on it. So we're just going to... Oh, shoot, hold on, I made a mistake. I'm just going to take the elevator. Or maybe I won't. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to do the CD jump. I'm wasting enough time already as it is. I should be able to get a third try. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just miss every single TD jump. Alright, so anyways, this level is normally pretty complicated, but if we just do a small little shortcut here... Are you serious? Normally I don't screw up this level. This level's really short, but I'm playing awful right now. That's unfortunate. Alright, there we go. This is the end of the level, by the way. So, normally that would only be about 17 seconds, but I made a lot of mistakes, so it's not even close. This time is going to be so bad. Alright, so now we're in Jabba's ship. We lose our gear at the beginning of this level and have to punch this dragon until he dies. And he wasn't giving me very good RNG, so he killed me once. That's fine, though. So we have to first get our gear back because that's kind of important. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of a small shortcut here just to get this blue key. This TD jumping wasn't useful enough already. So we're going to go through here. We have to get our gear, which means we have to go all the way around here to get this one switch in order to open it up. There's our stuff. Now, normally you're supposed to do this a very specific way, like the intended route wants you to get the blue Navicard and then rescue Jan Ors. We're going to do that in the complete opposite manner by doing this right here. Yeah, I forgot to mention, all explosives give you some sort of boost, and mines have twice as much explosive power as thermal detonators do, so you're able to just go straight up that wall by planting 2 mines there, so that's pretty cool. And we're going to be able to do this level out of order. I also have really low health, so hopefully this doesn't, backfire on me. That would be really bad. Alright, sweet, that's great.
Thanks, I thought I was done for.
Alright, so we're gonna death warp there because it saves a few seconds, and now we gotta go get the blue Navicard. That's the last thing we need to do in this level. So we're gonna take another little shortcut, because normally we're not supposed to be able to go back up here, so we're just gonna hop up there. And there we are. Alright, so this next level is really weird. I'll explain what happens after I'm done. So just give me a second, I need to focus. Come on, really? Alright, so what happened there is in this level, like I said earlier, you're supposed to complete every objective to trigger the end of the level. This is the only level that doesn't, the rule doesn't apply. The boss of this level is behind this wall, so we're using splash damage to hurt him through that wall, so we're able to complete the last objective of it. So now we have 2 ships, and we've skipped one of the longest levels in the game. But the only problem with that strategy is that it's totally RNG dependent. So you can kill them as fast as 4 mines, or you can use all of them like I did. So I need to make sure I pick up those mines because I'll need them later on. This is Fuel Station, by the way. This is one of the slower levels in the game. This is actually really boring casually. Like, it takes forever to complete. So we're going to do a series of tricky TD jumps to hopefully shorten it a little bit. By the way, those are explosive barrels. They're pretty dangerous. So we want to kill everyone in there when we get the chance. So we're going to do this. Please give me good RNG. Nope, that's not good RNG. Alright, there we go. And we'll try to skip the thing. Alright, sweet, we got it. So that saves you having to do a bit of a really slow puzzle to get to this section. And on top of that, the other way to do it is to do a mine boost, which is a little bit slower. So now also we have the concussion rifle. This is my favorite weapon in the game. It's not the most powerful weapon in the game, but it's really fun. And it's a shame we get it so late. In the 100% category, you get this pretty early on. Well, not early on, but you get it earlier on. You get it on Narshada. Alrighty, so we're going to try and do the TD jumps back. It's not a big deal if we don't get it. Nope, I didn't get it. See, that's fine. Because we can just take an elevator back. And it's only about a second slower, so that's fine. Let me show you. I just want to show off this bad boy because it's fun. What's a good place to fire this thing? Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, this gun is basically a miniature BFG if you've ever played Doom. It uses significantly less ammo though, so it's pretty fun to use. Come on. Alright, so now we just need to get to the end of this level. Also, they're going to do... What I just did there was a small little glitch you can do to save a really small amount of time on elevators. If you approach an elevator and use the action button right at a specific frame before it decides to... Before you get on it, you can actually activate the elevator without hitting the switch attached to it. So that's a small time saver, and it's not really necessary, but it's kind of cool. So we have some downtime. I'm going to drink this water real quick. I'm really thirsty.
I'll see you on the dark side, Jan.
Alright, so now we're on to the second to the last level of the game. This one is hopefully going to go fast. Oh, no, I got splash damage. This is going to be rough. This level is pretty straightforward. There's one section... Oh, wow. Really bad RNG there. This level's pretty straightforward. There is one section in particular that's incredibly slow that we can't speed up. And unfortunately take a lot of damage, so I can't do the super fast route through this level. I'm going to have to play a little cautiously. Alright, so just get up here, pull out this bad boy. Oh, they didn't die, that's wonderful. Alright, so my health is pretty low, so I'm going to just die there just to get full shields again, because we need them in order to do a mine boost. Which will skip doing all the platforming for this section right here. It's just really, it's not hard, it's just annoying. Alright, we're going to open up this little secret and we reveal the most useful weapon in the game, which is the assault cannon. We get it the second to last level though, so it's a shame. This gun is ridiculously powerful. It does a lot of damage and kills enemies really fast. So we just have to kill these 3 Dark Troopers in order to progress to the next section of the level, which is the not exciting part. Oh, did he not die? Oh, he's not dead. Okay, wonderful. Anyways, so this is the part I was talking about that you can't speed up. You have to hit switches and wait for a thing to go to the next point in order to make it move further. It's really, really annoying. You can't make it go faster, though. So I just like to punch stuff while I'm waiting, because punching with this weapon supercharge is pretty amusing. Alright. Alright. And we're almost at the end of the level. Alright, there we go. Alright, sweet. So we're on the last level of the game. This is also the longest level in the entire game. It's, all we have to do... Oh, shoot, I missed a jump. That's not a big deal. So, well, the main objective is we have to plant 3 sequencer charges in the arc hammer, and then we're good. First thing we have to do is fight this Dark Trooper, the Phase 1 Dark Trooper. We can use splash damage from those to kill him pretty quickly. And we're going to use the assault cannon again to just wreck this trooper. One thing I forgot to mention about this weapon is you can actually... Where'd he go? What? Oh, there he is. One thing you can do, it's faster to actually rapidly click the fire button than it is to hold the fire button. So that's something you can do for a little more damage per second. I'm going to do a big explosive boost right there. By the way, if you try to do that without shield supercharge, you'll die, because there's like 5 barrels there and they do a lot of damage. So it sends you pretty far upward.
That's one.
Alright, that's one of them. Alright. we're gonna try to do this elevator glitch. Got it. Oh wow, my run's gonna be, this time is gonna be so bad. I can already tell. It's whatever though. So we're gonna do a small little shortcut here, hopefully. Okay, got it. That's just skips having to wait on all those moving platforms, just doing that TD jump there. It's kind of finicky though, so it's really nice that I actually got it. And of course, Kyle just said for freedom. I don't know why they ever needed to put that line in this game, but oh no, okay, that was close. So you gotta be careful with that elevator glitch, because if the enemy just blocks your way, they can basically prevent you from getting on the elevator, and you waste a lot of time waiting on it. Alright, so we're gonna do a small TD jump up here. Oh no, maybe we're not. Okay, maybe we won't. This is really weird. I'm having such trouble with this. But that saves you having to do the conveyor belt sequence, which is just a little bit faster, and it wasn't really worth it in that point because I missed it a couple times. But one of the other more recent things we found is it's actually faster to get off this conveyor belt, which knocks you off, and just go to the very last one. Just TD jump up to it. Alright, we're almost the last sequencer. Just gonna kill these guys so they don't get in the way. Alrighty, so this is a switch puzzle we have to do real quick. The method of which I'm doing it is actually the fastest way to do it, because it takes into consideration how long each switch will take to be active again, and how many times you actually have to hit it. So that's pretty neat. And now we're heading on to the last of the sequence charges. So let's plant that right there. Oh, get out of the way, please. You know, I'm not too happy about how this run's going, so just gonna take out my anger on myself. Actually, we just do that to give our health back. We want as much shields and health as we can going into this next section, because while it's not terribly hard to, you know, complete, you just want to make sure you're safe, and that's like a good place to do it. Oh, never mind, he's not gonna give me good RNG. So we just gotta kill 2 Dark Troopers, and then you get to the final boss of the game, which is really disappointing. So come on, get down here. Come on, stay still. Alright, I'm gonna pick up this extra ammo just for safety. I'm not gonna need it, but it makes me feel better. Alright, time for the last boss of the game.
Long time since I've challenged a man like that. I'm glad my ability is so
So the final boss is literally just a Dark Trooper, but instead of having rockets, he fires proximity mines, which don't do anything to you, because you're never gonna get close enough to hit him. Come on, get out of there. Get out of your hiding hole. Alright, he's dead. So, go ahead. I'm going to give you a cue on time. And... time. Alright. What was my time?
22:54.
Wow, really? That's incredible. My goal is sub 23. That was a really bad run, but that's impressive that I got that. Alright, so yeah, that was Star Wars Dark Forces. Before I go on to Resident Evil 4, I want to show off a cool little Easter egg in this game. On this level. You will never see this in any speedrun category whatsoever, so it's kind of cool. Anyways, so in this level there is actually a hidden little thing. You're supposed to use cheats to get to it. You're supposed to use the LA Pogo cheat, which removes vertical height check, in order to get to it, as well as the LA I'm Lame cheat, which gives you infinite health. But we can just do a small little TD jump here. There's this little hidden section in this wall which reveals cute little Ewok. Anyways, so that's Dark Forces. I'm going to go ahead and set up Resident Evil 4 next, because I know a lot of people want to see that.